it. Yeah. Hello boys and girls, and welcome to Lagoon Customs and the first episode of Start Working on Your Motorcycle, a series with a lot of episodes where I will be explaining how I started my builder journey. Today we're going to be working on the Honda VT500, a soft chopper, which me and my wife bought in order to take the motorcycle exam. And after that, it was the first bike that I started off with, building and changing stuff, like the handlebar, the indicators, the front and back lights. I added some fork gaiters and completely redid the seat on my own. But today we're gonna focus on the heat wraps. Today we're gonna take off the old heat wraps from the exhaust pipes and put on some new ones. Before we start, let's have a look at what we need to prepare. A bucket of water to soak the heat wraps, the heat wrap, steel wraps, a pair of gloves so you don't catch that fiberglass, some steel wool to clean up the exhaust pipes, and a scissor to cut the heat wrap. So here's what we're going to do. First off, we're going to remove the exhaust. Then we're going to remove the exhaust collector box. That's that thing right here. Then we're going to remove the exhaust pipes right there and right there. Then we're going to unwrap the old heat wrap and put on the new one and put everything back together. Also, what I like to do is, if I unscrew something like this, put all the pieces back together. See this? All at one place, and then just put it in a tray. Do I really need to remove the exhaust collector box? How about we just try to first remove the exhaust pipes, and if that doesn't work out, we can still remove the exhaust collector box. Nope, that doesn't work out. Back to square one. I also forgot to mention that on the other side of the bike there is another exhaust that we need to remove. So let's take this thing away. And as I said before, I don't put these screws into the tray. I screw them right back on so that I know exactly where they belong when I need to put everything back together. There we go. And again, screwing this piece back on so that I know where it belongs. Next, we're gonna take the exhaust box collector off. While. I was sitting here. Fuck. Whew. Alright. As you can see, things didn't go according to plan. I had a lot of trouble removing the exhaust pipes from the exhaust collector box, but at the end of the day, I somehow managed to get that stuff out, and with a little bit of brute force, things always work out. Next, let's clean up the exhaust pipes with some steel wool and some water, and then go over to wrapping the exhaust pipes. A little bit of steel wool and put some water on it, not too much. And you should be able to get most of that rust off. One other thing I like to do is to keep my old socks, cut them up and bring them into the garage so I can use them to clean up stuff. And yes, I do wear funny socks. Second pipe. So next thing, you want to get a marker and then make sure you mark the place where you want the heat wraps to stop. Next up, get the heat wrap, get your bucket of water, put that whole thing in water. The reason why we put the heat wraps into the water is so that after we wrap them around the exhaust pipe and the machine starts running, the exhaust pipes get heated up and the water in the heat wrap will vaporize. When the water vaporizes, the heat wrap gets even tighter around the exhaust pipes. Before you start, also get some of those plastic straps. We're going to use them just for the beginning and then take them off again. Put this thing, bend it so that it has a nice ending. Start right here. The beginning is always a little bit hard. You want to get that tight. Tighten it up a little bit more. And then before you continue, put around that plastic strap. And what I like to do is, depends on how thick you want it to look. You can go 1/3 above the last row or halfway, or even 3/4 above the last row. And then when you're about halfway around, you'll need to slowly take this out, put that back in, here we go again. We're at the end. Now I'm going to hold this, cut it, bend this over. The last bit looks nice and tidy. Put the next strap on there, up until the point where I wanted it to have. And now what I can do is put on the metal straps. And for that, I will need this tool here and a really small, tiny little screwdriver so that on one hand I can pull. So you put this in and let's make sure that looks nice and beautiful. So now what I like to do is put this thing here, the screwdriver, grab the end of the strap and pull everything nicely together. What I want to make sure is that that strap doesn't move anywhere around. I'll pull it a little bit more, if it's possible, really hard. All right, that's number one. Yeah, that looks good. And now we can already cut this thing off. And then we can get rid of the plastic strap. Nice. Beautiful. And we have our first exhaust pipe wrapped in heat wrap. All right, round two. So again, you don't want to have those. Fold them over like this, nice ending, and then start over again. Get the plastic strap. All right, we're getting close to the finish. Make sure that thing is super tight. Nice ending. Second piece done. Now let's put everything back together. Wasn't that hard, was it? Everything is back together and everything looks beautifully nice. I hope I was able to motivate you to start your builder journey or just start working on your bike. You can start off with something small and simple like the heat wraps and carry on from there. As we proceed in this series of Start Working on Your Motorcycle, I'll show you a few more ideas on what to start working on. And if it did motivate you to start working on your bike, I suggest you always use your smartphone to take some pictures of each and every step so that you know exactly how to put things back together. Have fun, drink a beer, put some music on, enjoy. All right, if you have any comments, happy for feedback, leave it in the comments section, like and subscribe.
Hello, Hansruedi Tanner here. How are you? Good. You know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe, and whoopsie the broom, huh? Let's go.